Jewish. In my Jewish culture, we celebrate like lots of holidays, and one of my favorite holidays to celebrate is Hanukkah, because what we do is we go to this person's house and we all bring gifts, and they don't have to be great gifts, they're supposed to be funny, and then we all pick a number, and if you get the number you get to pick a gift, and it's always a really funny gift. Like one year I got a popcorn machine. And now I'm going to talk about my bat mitzvah. A bat mitzvah is when a girl, a bar mitzvah is a boy, become like a Jewish adult. So I'm going to have to, like, for an hour and a half, stand in front of all these people and speak Hebrew and talk about what I have learned. And do a project to help the community, because that's something that Jewish people do. We try to help the community. So in Judaism, there's something called a yarmulke. A yarmulke is like a little hat like this big, and it's like kind of round, and men put it on their heads when they go into temple. And also there's something called a talit, and this is very special to the Jewish tradition. It's kind of like a long scarf, and you hold it like this, and then before you put it on, you have to kiss the corners, and then you put it around yourself like that.
Hi, my name is Mrs. Hopner, and I am Jewish.
What do you do on Hanukkah?
So on Hanukkah, we light a candle every night. There's 8 nights of Hanukkah, and every night you're supposed to get a present too. And we kind of reflect on the happenings in Jerusalem and in the temple, and the story about the oil, and all of the hardships that the Jews went through during those nights and how they persevered every single night. And so we go through and we light a candle and we say a special prayer to remember each night that the oil lasted.
Do you have any special things that you do that your family does on Hanukkah?
Special things that we do, we usually would go to the synagogue on the first night and eat, of course. We always have food involved during those nights, but we don't really have any restrictions. We make, maybe latkes or something to go along with the theme, but usually it's just a lot of family time and prayers and eating. Okay, so when I was about 12 in 6th grade, I had my bat mitzvah, and that's bat, and for a boy it's bar mitzvah. And they do it, I think, when they're 13, and so that is just I guess it's a rite of passage, and it's a time where I'm becoming a woman, and I'm just reaffirming my beliefs, and I read from the Torah, and it's just a big celebration of growing up. To prepare for my bat mitzvah, I met with a rabbi, and I actually had my bat mitzvah with 2 other of my friends, so we had like a joint bat mitzvah, and we'd meet every week to practice how to read, write, and speak Hebrew. And then we also had a specific part of the Torah that we were in charge of reciting at our bat mitzvah, and so it took a lot of preparation, and I was really nervous, but once I was up there I ended up memorizing it all, I think, because I was so nervous, and spoke the Hebrew. And then afterwards it's a celebration, of course, food again. And so I kind of have an interesting story. My mom was born outside of Tel Aviv in Israel, but my family is actually from Baghdad, Iraq, and so I'm considered an Iraqi Jew. My grandma and grandpa lived in Iraq, and there was a really nice king there, and people lived in peace, and then he was murdered, and so they fled, and they had to leave all of their belongings behind, and my grandpa left his coffee shops to his friends there who were Arabs, and so they left everything to their best friends, and they went to Israel, and so my mom was born in Israel, and she's the youngest of 9. Okay. So as a Jew, we have a special day every week. It's considered our day of rest, just like Christians go to church on Sunday. We have a day of rest, and it starts Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, and it's called Shabbat. And so I usually go to the synagogue on Friday evening, and we usually say the same prayers, but then we also talk about something new. And during that time, a lot of Jewish people that are pretty conservative don't drive, they don't cook, they can't do any type of work, even like cleaning or anything like that, and so they totally rest during that time. just a day of rest in Israel. Everything closes and a lot of people don't drive. I mean, obviously there's people that still drive, but most businesses will close during that time, and then it's really neat. On Saturday evening, after Shabbat is over, they open back up, and so people will go out to dinner or to the cafes Saturday night. So it's every single week from Friday to Saturday night, and that's called Shabbat.